All right, Eric, welcome. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Excellent. Glad you're here. You were here all 3 days, right?
Yes. Yes, I was.
Yes. Awesome, awesome. All right, got a couple
Love
more
that.
people joining us.
And you know what they say about the quiet ones? I was on one of the attendees from the last 2 days jumped on a call with me. It's super quiet. And he said he was going to be here tonight. Like, are you going to join us tonight? And he said, yeah, but I'm going to be quiet. I'm like, you can be quiet because that's who just landed us those 2 deals this afternoon. So be careful of the
Nice.
quiet ones.
Silent but deadly, they say, right?
That's right. That's right.
They're the observers, so they
Oh
tend
yeah.
to, read the room and figure out what's going on.
Right, right. Perfect. We've got about one more minute and then we'll get going because I know it's Friday night. We probably have other priorities, but we are here. So you guys, wow, this is a serious group right here. I'm telling you, this is the most serious group right here.
Well, that's how we like it. I was sharing earlier, Joe, I don't know if you heard, but oh my God, this deal it shouldn't have been such an uphill battle, but it was, and we just received the approval. We
Nice.
we
Congrats.
escalated it uh, quite a bit because we had a financing contingency and nobody was issuing approvals and issues. And finally, of course, the Friday before Thanksgiving. But yeah, so the financing contingency runs out on Monday, and we're on an extension. So this was
Ah,
$100,000 earnest money on the table. So the nerves were going pretty high on the borrower side, but we got it done.
wonderful.
Congrats. Congrats. All right, I'm going to
Yeah,
go
thank
ahead
you.
and share my screen, folks, and get this thing going. So, yeah, well, actually, tell me first if you see my screen. You should be able to see it now. Thumbs
Yep.
up. All right, thank you. I don't know if you guys are competitive, whether you join us or not. You should definitely be part of the school community. Maybe you're not ready yet to join us on the insider circle or inner circle, but definitely participate here. Some of you are very competitive. I love it. There's a lot of posts going on. To me, this is accountability. When you're very engaging, your points start to increase. So I don't know if you're paying attention to how this works, but people are very, very proactive here. And here is our current leaderboard. So get competitive, folks. It's one
Hey,
of those things. I
I
was in a
lost a spot.
Oh, you lost the spot, huh? Get
I
back in
thought
there,
I was
John.
two. Now I'm upset.
Get back in there. Let's start fighting for number one. I was in a group this morning and they kind of caught me off guard. And I was in Texas, as some of you know, and they said, "Hey, what was your biggest takeaway?" I go, "Showing up." Showing up when you get in front of like other leaders, asset managers, people in the REO space. I mean, they were right in the room, elbow to elbow, and I told them my biggest takeaway was showing up. And it's very exciting what's going on in the space of residential and commercial. So super grateful you're here. Please make sure you're participating, being active, and showing up. And so congratulations to the ones that showed up today. The ones watching the recording, yeah, just connect and play at the highest level possible. I'm switching over to the slides. You guys can see my slides now, hopefully. And it looks like a few more
Yes,
people in the
yes,
room
we
coming
can
in
see
too.
them. Actually, I need to get on the same page as you, Joe.
All right,
Give me
beautiful,
a
beautiful.
second. I know we need to. And also, thank you everybody who booked a call with me. I was talking one-on-one with quite a number of you today, so very productive and got 2 deals out of it. So good job.
And welcome, John, our newest Insider Inner Circle member. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Super glad to have you here. Okay, so you all calibrated, Susanna? I'm pretty dialed in on my end.
Just look 1 more second, sorry.
That's all right.
People
And
still
this
go
is day
home.
three, guys. Day three, the final day. You should have plenty, plenty, plenty. But I'm an obsessed learner. Learning should never, ever, ever stop. It's one of those things, they say leaders are readers, readers are leaders. You
Hello,
also
darling.
want to read about commercial real estate. You all set now, Susanna?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Disclaimer, it's a CYA, cover your assets. You should be doing these disclaimers too if you ever start doing presentations, if you raise capital or you're talking about real estate, have these in place. We are not your attorney or tax pros. Seek additional advice. Build your team, your dream team, around you to make sure that you have some second set of eyes and wisdom behind you on lots of these big decisions you're going to make in commercial real estate. You are here because you are an agent, loan officer, or an investor looking to triple your
Joe,
income.
sorry, we can't see your slides anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, let me stop share and share again. Thank you for letting me know. Sometimes that happens with tech. And yes,
Okay, yep, got it.
perfect. Thank you. Okay, so you are here because you are an agent, loan officer, or investor looking to triple your income with commercial real estate. What you'll learn today or have learned ongoing these past 3 days is how to transition from residential real estate agent, mortgage loan originator into a top performer in commercial real estate. How to become an investor in commercial deals that dwarf the ROI and cash flow you've come to expect on residential assets. And analyze CRE deals with confidence. And lastly, discover the roadmap to your first commercial deal. Remember, FAR, FAR. Okay. How to analyze the numbers in CRE. This is a quick recap from yesterday. How to identify winning deals in 5 minutes. The replay is in school. So if you haven't had a chance to look at it, take a look. You should have received an email as well for day one, two, and later on it'll be day three. It takes a little bit time to upload and populate all that information into Zoom, our software, our platform. So give it a little bit. Should be there later tonight. But FAR, Foundation, Analysis, and Roadmap. Okay. And moving on. So you learned how to analyze deals. These were some of the top words or buzzwords, keywords, or pillars that you should incorporate in your everyday language in commercial real estate. Net operating income, NOI, cap rate, cash on cash, debt service coverage ratio, internal rate of return, equity multiple, pop quiz. What kind of debt service coverage ratio should we be at the banks truly love? Anybody know? Put it in the chat. Who knows the debt service coverage ratio where you should be at that the banks love? Anybody could take a guess or remember? Nobody? Crickets?
No, we got one. 1.25 says John. Yep.
There you go. There you go. Good job. Good job. All right. And so now you can analyze and qualify commercial opportunity in minutes. I'm not going to read every single one, but you could read through it yourself or watch the recording again. Investors, you can analyze a $4 million deal, see the NOI potential upside. Mortgage loan originators, you could do a lot of different things as well. Structure a commercial loan that funds with confidence and higher fees. All right. And you now have an advantage over most. Why realtors don't do commercial, a big one is they don't understand the numbers. I know as a residential agent myself for a very, very long time, it was often intimidating looking at an offering memorandum, looking at the pro forma spreadsheet, and seeing all these numbers and just, it was all spaghetti in my head. They're addicted to familiarity Again, you could read all of these. I don't want to spend too much time on these. Why investors don't do commercial? Well, a big part of it, I know a lot of people that stick with single family think they need a lot or millions in cash to play the bigger game. We did talk about a little bit joint venture, syndications. That's a way to get into some of these bigger deals. We didn't get too much into what we call crowd sourcing or crowdfunding, but I'll tell you what, if I've seen a deal, or maybe I don't know the operating or general partner, and it's a crowdfunding deal, crowdsource, I'll throw a little bit of money in it, and some of them you could jump in for a few $100s on crowdsourcing, crowdfunding deals, and now you could say you own an asset because you truly do, even at a few hundred or a few $1,000s. That's something the VIP members, we will be going into all these different creative ways into maybe putting your fund together, crowdsourcing, syndications, all those moving parts in raising capital. Why MLOs don't do commercial? They think they need millions in cash. They fear the big numbers. Very much similar to realtors. A lot of similarities between residential realtors, residential MLOs. So again, if you missed it, feel free to take a snapshot of that slide. And again, what I was saying yesterday, repetition is a mother of skill. Read these over and over and over. Rehearse, make note cards. Make some note cards of some of these different words and phrases, and just put them in your memory bank by looking at them over and over again. Master CRE analysis and reap the benefits. You'll become fluent in CRE analysis, and you can benefit from spotting underperforming assets, mispriced listings, and hidden value add plays in minutes. Talking numbers with lenders, brokers, and investors with confidence, not feeling like an outsider, and being the one everyone calls for clarity. Like Susanna said yesterday, everybody knows her in Arizona. She's a go-to, and you want to in your respective marketplaces, like John in Michigan, Eric in Palm Springs. You want to be the master of these type of principles in commercial real estate, and you'll be the go-to. Dramatically shortening the CRE learning curve that takes most people years of trial and error. We're going to teach you the shortcuts, especially on the insider inner circle. Um, we're seasoned between Susanna, myself, and I think I saw Jesse here. We've got some real seasoned pros in our inner circle willing to help. Okay, so definitely make sure you're participating in our group, whether you take it the next level or not. And just here we go, a little bit about me. I like to stay humble, but Susanna nudges me every now and then. Yeah, I am a coach to many. Starting officially, professionally 14 years ago, you talk about some of the biggest names in the country. I have coached them or currently coach them. Number one state in Delaware, number two in Georgia, number one in Fresno, California. I help them level up because everybody who's humbled enough to get coaching, you got holes in your boat. Whether you like it or not, there's some holes in your boat, or just like I dropped off my daughter dropped off her car, I had to pay the bill. Your engines aren't going to be optimally running if you don't have an expert like a mechanic or a coach checking out your business and telling you what's going wrong or what you could do better. So I've been a coach to many. I've spoken in large stages. This one here was in San Diego. Dan Fleischman, if some of you know him, I'm in some of his private masterminds and inner circle groups. I'm also speaking on December 4th. So, John, please book your ticket if you can make it out to San Diego. Would love to see you in person. I'll be speaking there as well. Um, Prior to 2014, I'll give you a little bit backstory. And just like everybody else who was playing large, I fell pretty hard. I lost millions. Okay. But I hit the reset button in 2014. I was able to regain my confidence, regain the courage, regain my credit because it got shot terribly, and was able to jump back in the real estate arena and bought my first property starting all over. After I bought that, I bought a second property. I put down $100,000 on a $700,000 property. It's more than doubled. So I made a lot of money with a lot of property again, and currently own several storage facilities. As I mentioned, some of them on a limited partnership, some of them I'm the owner operator exclusively. I've raised multi-millions already, and I have a pretty decent net worth. Some of you don't know me too well. I do like to diversify. My big thing is I like to buy buildings and businesses, and I do own a couple other companies. I do own a magazine company and a marketing company. I'm on multiple social platforms, so just follow me, like, subscribe, etc. You know the drill. And I also love writing. It's a way I decompress, and another way I love to share to the world. I am writing a few more books as we speak, and probably some of you were here yesterday, but my first ever person that turned me on to real estate is now one of my coaches. So I hired him as my personal coach to help me write my books, and he's written many bestsellers, and I'm looking to move in that direction as well. This is one of my favorite books of all time so far for me. Plex with a Plex. You can find it on Amazon. Definitely listen to my podcast. If you're playing in the space of the commercial real estate, I have other gurus that I collaborate with, maybe even invest with, that are specialists in, like, you know, mobile home parks or anything like that. And you'll hear them on my podcast. One of them, just to be a little braggadocious, Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you guys know Garrett Sutton, he was the Rich Dad advisor attorney for Robert Kiyosaki. And he was on my podcast. I've been on his. He's also in the podcast, so listen to him there. Just to name drop a little bit. Tom Ferry. This is a man who I've been coaching with independently as a contractor for a while. He's taught me a lot. He's taught me a lot. In what was really nice about him was he endorsed me. So you might have seen this on Instagram or YouTube or any platform, but he personally endorsed me. Joe, I love your stuff. I watch it. You're the man, etc., etc. It was right there. So that was such a blessing that he said that to me, for me, and put it on public. That was awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been my mentor in the lending space, commercial lending. I own my own mortgage company, but I was clueless, like some of you are. Commercial is a different ball game. When I met Susanna, she blew my mind. I was like, literally, my jaw dropped and my tongue was hanging out. I'm like, who is this lady? And so we totally latched on. She's been my mentor in the lending space, commercial lending, and we're doing a lot of big things together. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Susanna Royce.
Aw, thank you, Joe. Hi, everyone. So you guys already know me. So just real quick, you guys know I was in corporate and I wanted to get into the financing space because I found that it's the key to making good decisions in investing in commercial real estate. But that job that I got by smoking a cigarette, I was stuck doing residential. I was overwhelmed by the numbers. And then I discovered that the only way for me to really learn, right? They say, well, learn by doing, which is kind of how we structure, our coaching as well. It's, yes, you have the foundation, but it's not reading books. We look at real deals. We answer the 6 questions. We move forward. That's because that's my formula, right? The formula to the shortcut that we're basically teaching you guys is how can you skip the 18 months of heartache and brain damage and fast track. We're here to help you land your first commercial deal. So yesterday we shared some of the deals that we've done. We're currently working on a transaction that's almost 100 million. We've closed. Somebody asked, like, what's the volume that we've closed? I can't even add it up. I mean, I guess if I tried, I did, but like the largest transaction that I had closed like 15 years ago was 217 multifamily units. It was $17 million back then. Can you imagine? Like we'd be looking at a $50 million transactions right now. So it's been fun. It's always exciting. Every deal is different, and we're here to help you do the same. So today's training is how to get your first deal in 90 days. So like Joe summarized for you yesterday, we showed you how to build a foundation, how to analyze the deals. So let's say now you've done that. And then now what? Where are you gonna go with that? What are you gonna do? So we're here today to talk about it. So now that you know what you need to do, yep, that's the next one. So what are the next steps to your first deal? So here's an overview of what your roadmap looks like. So everybody knows commercial real estate, but what does that mean? There's actually no such thing as commercial real estate. There is multifamily, there is owner occupied, there is industrial, there is office space, there's mobile home parks, right? There's a number of them. So choose your path in CRE. What's going to be the property type that you're going to specialize in, and how are you going to make money? Are you going to be an agent? Are you going to be listing properties? Are you going to be a buyer's agent? Are you going to be commercial loan officer or an investor? Then once you decide that, who will you reach out to? Who will you be? And how then do you move the needle forward to where you want to be? So agents are after commissions, MLOs are after commissions, and investors are after cash flow. So what's the roadmap? What are the steps that you personally need to take in the next 90 days to move the needle toward that? So let's dive in. Okay, identify how you want to make money in CRE. So which one are you? Do you want to provide referrals and get paid referral fees, let others do the work? So I actually was on a couple of calls with you guys today. That is a good place to start when maybe you're not quite as confident yet, but you want to start making money right away. Start referring deals, and there's specific criteria of deals that you can refer that will close, that you're going to get paid on. Or do you want commercial listings? You want to sell commercial real estate? That is one of the most profitable careers in commercial real estate, is to do the listing. I don't know if you guys remember, but yesterday when I was showing you the deals, like, okay, this was the transaction, it was 63 million, but the loan amount was, let's say, 37, right? The agent gets paid on the purchase price, and multiples of that, typically, let's just say 3%. So what's 3% of 60 million versus the loan officer, which was me at 37 million? I get 1% of that. And a lot of times, once I go over 20 million, people start negotiating me down. So decide where you want to be. I love the financing space because number one, I'm not stuck with the deal for 6 months like an agent is. I'll just come in and finance it. And I love the numbers, the banking game. What other options?
I did
What?
want to add, guys, on the referral fees. Remember, there's wholesale fees too. So if you caught that in day 1 or 2, great. But if you're coming to us on day 3, there's a big difference on wholesaling residential versus commercial.
That's true. And there's actually, I wish that somebody would really, take it and run with it in the wholesaling commercial space, because it's the amount of money you can make on that. I believe it was about 3 years ago, we get this publication here in Phoenix on recent transactions. And there was one transaction, I don't remember exactly the numbers, but I think it closed at like 4.6 million. But on the same day, it was basically bought and sold to the end buyer for 4.6. But the buyer who bought it before bought it for like 3.2. So literally got an assignment fee of, over $1 million. I still don't know who was it. I never followed up on it, but I remember it. So are you going to provide commercial financing to owners and buyers, or are you going to invest in commercial real estate and benefit from cash flow and forced appreciation? Personally, this is my favorite. Actually, the only reason why I ever got into financing, because I felt that I needed to understand it in order to be an effective investor. And I feel that most people who are in commercial real estate will eventually end up in some form of investment. Step 2, the how. So now that you have the credibility, because you can speak the CRE language, how do you leverage that? So for loan originators, and we in our Launchpad program, we go into this in great detail, and I've actually had a conversation with Dylan and with John earlier. So for loan originators, you have to provide value to listing agents. So you could literally talk to 100 people that touch commercial real estate, but which one is going to move the needle? How are you actually going to land your first deal? The most effective strategy, and this is so many years of heartache and trying different things, and now that I have my own mentee group, this is what I preach to them every day. Don't waste your time talking to, let's say, residential MLOs, residential agents. You may get a deal out of it, but you're going to talk to 100 people before you land one. Provide value to a commercial listing agent, and there's no way they're not going to give you the deal. Then there's different ways to provide value, but at the very least, you can pull your financing options and present it to the agent that already has the listing. And of course, they already have their go-to person. But with our system on providing financing options, you're going to uncover options that they may not have had. And listing agents only want to worry about one thing, and that's, can you close the deal? If you can close the deal, they're likely to give you the assignment on working on the loan. For listing agents, same thing. You have to provide value to owners and buyers, provide a network to your clients. Some of the listing agents that are in that space, they will typically know the seller and the buyer from previous transactions because you're doing repeat business. They're going to know the cap rates. They're going to know corporations that are looking for lease space. They're going to know what's the prevailing, lease renewal rate. And this information is super valuable to buyers. So when you have that level of expertise and that level of fluency, you're going to get the listing. Investors, you need to build credibility with CRE brokers and build your network of passive income. So I cannot tell you how much of an insider game this is. I have purchased multiple commercial properties. If it's a good deal and it may be off market, but it's going to get, somebody else is going to know about it. If you know the broker and you're credible and you've closed the deal with them, you're going to end up with the deal. If you don't know the broker, I have been the winning bid when I didn't offer the higher price. I can tell you that goes on all the time. So the credibility is massive. You can't do it without being fluent and then building those relationships. And we can help you identify who those relationships are and who you need to contact with. So step 3, the who, the insider secrets that separate the top 1% of commercial professionals from everyone else. The top performers have deals come to them, and that's exactly what I was telling you here. Once you can provide the value and the fluency, the deals will come. Identify the people who will bring you deals and focus on them. Leverage your online presence. This is a new thing. So it used to be, just to be very specific, when I first started, I strictly focused on agents, and I would either call them or meet with them. Hey, I'm doing this. And I always tried to kind of play like I'm also a buyer, which I truly was, but I wasn't as much of a, credible buyer as, and as I was later. But who are the people that are going to actually get you the deal? And it's either the listing agent or the buyer. So don't waste your time talking to MLOs, residential agents. Don't talk to title companies. They will tell you that they can hook you up. They can't. Just be super focused about that. So the new thing, I had a mentee that brought me a deal about 6 months ago to finance, and it was like a $39 million purchase in Florida. And she was so new, and I just asked her, I said, how did you get this deal? Believe it or not, it was on X. So there are specific strategies that we can discuss with you, in our coaching program on how to leverage your online presence to become the go-to advisor. And I have countless other examples that would take too long right now to get into it, where even partners are coming together with their finance partners, or or with our LPs, limited partners online right now. So when you implement these strategies, the deals will come. And remember, you don't need to do 100 deals a year. You don't need to do 30 deals a year. In commercial, if you're doing, 10, 15 deals a year, you're probably into the 7 figures. Okay, let's move on. So step 4. So this is specifically for agents, right? So as soon as you close your first deal, you guys need to leverage that. Reach out to the neighbors and tell them, ask them for the listing. One of my mentees, like I told you, he loves convenience stores and gas stations. And the reason why he loves them because he keeps getting them. He closed one and then he called on the next gas station or the next agent. He called the seller and said, hey, I just closed this gas station in your area. And we closed it in 45 days or 60 days or whatever it is. Or we ran into a snag where the borrower wanted to go conventional. And so last minute, we saved the deal by switching it to SBA, right? So demonstrate your knowledge and how you accomplished the closing of this deal. That's what moves the needle. Specialize immediately, pick one property type. If you don't, it will be picked for you basically, because whatever your first or second deal is going to be, that's likely where you're going to start getting referrals right away. Shadow a top producer, trade time for proximity. If you co-list, door knock or build OMs, the offering memorandums, you're going to learn a lot and people are going to eventually give you your own deals. Pull your local data list. So real estate it's all recorded somewhere, right? So it's very easily searched. There's CoStar, there's Geonomy, there's public records, and we can give you all of the resources on how to search those. Build relationships with lenders and appraisers. They don't often know who is buying refinancing before listings hit the market. Again, an example there, I had somebody who was a buyer that put me in touch with a lender, and that lender actually delivered a co-sponsor to the buyer. Leverage the pocket listings for credibility and partner with established agents on off-market deals. And then lastly, post or comment on social media, especially I'm telling you, for some reason, former Twitter, now X, is a very active market for commercial real estate. So the next slide talks about what are the steps for the investors. So focus on showing credibility when inquiring about a listing. Ask for off-market or upcoming listing. Demonstrate that you can close on time. So when a buyer, like for example here in Phoenix, is wanting to buy whatever, an office building, and I know the agent or the agent knows me, they will call me and say, is this buyer credible? Have you worked with them before? Have they closed the deal? So when you leverage yourself like that or provide references of people who know you or who you have worked with before, that gives you instant credibility and you're more likely going to end up with that contract. Stay and engaged with CRE brokers, and they will call you with new deals before anybody else.
Okay, I think I'm up, Susanna.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. You can finish this one.
Okay. Define your strike zone. Choose a single asset class, market, and deal size that matches your capital and network. If you guys are investors, please don't try to invest in more than one asset type. Like if you guys want to have a couple of residential units or fourplexes that like in addition to whatever else you're doing, that's fine. But once you decide to go into the industrial space, you're going to build so much credibility there and so much network. Those agents brokers are going to call you with, oh, hey, there's another industrial property coming up. But all of a sudden you're like, well, yeah, but I'm also buying office, right? You don't have the network there. Your investors are going to think that you're not focused enough for them to, put their money behind you. So make sure you stay within your strike zone. And then partner for track record. John and I had a conversation about this. How can you become an investor when you don't have the experience or the track record? What have you closed? How have you delivered value? What was the internal rate of return that you produced? So the way we do it in the Launchpad program is that you start by basically either providing sweat equity and leaving that in the deal instead of getting paid, or get into a deal with like the minimum investment. Now you're a limited partner, but guess what? It goes on your balance sheet. So now the next deal that you do, it's showing that now you're a part owner of the industrial park or the multifamily or the self-storage, right? Once you have at least a couple of those on your balance sheet, on the next one, go be a co-GP, right? Partner up with somebody and start being on the sponsorship team. Once you have one of those, you're off and running. There's no more limits. And analyze 100 deals fast. This is my kind of pet peeve. Do that before you invest in anything, because you need to look at that many deals to really truly recognize the one that you want. Oh, get debt quotes early. Sorry, I thought we were done on that one. Talk to lenders before making offers. It clarifies what is actually financeable. So honestly, this should have been actually step number one. Make sure that it can be financed and at what leverage. And raise soft commitments first. So if you are in a contract, you're thinking about buying a property, actually even before you start looking, make sure that you have a list of people that are potentially going to invest with you and talk to them about what you're looking to do and get soft commitments. Because by the time you put something under contract, you have max 60 days to close it. So you basically only have 30 days then to actually raise the money and make sure that it's at the title company.
All right, for loan originators, some of you guys might be considering that career path. So build a three lender network first. Don't try to shop the whole market. Pick three lenders with different appetites, an agency, a local bank, or bridge. Start with deals you can fund. There was many times that I had some leads with construction and ground up. It was tough. It was tough to get the financing for those. So focus on where you know you could get on base. Multifamily, mixed use, avoid ground up construction until you close three deals or more. Leverage residential past clients. Send them an email. I'm now funding commercial deals too, 5+ units, office or mixed use. That's huge. So if you're really starting to pivot, you will definitely separate yourself from all the other realtors out there, letting them know that you are now, leveling up and getting into investments. Reverse prospect agents and investors offer to pre-qualify their buyers or provide financing quotes to add value up front. So again, if you're looking to pivot, talk to all those other agents in your database and the investors that you worked with before with single family, and let them know that you have knowledge and access to multifamily or bigger properties. Post deal case studies on social media. This is huge, guys. So if you're not leveraging social media, I encourage you to do so now. I personally found a couple deals myself, some storage facilities that were great deals, and I ended up buying them because somebody posted. It was just random off market, not listed on LoopNet, Crexy, or anything else, and I ended up buying those properties. So post your deal case studies as you go. And if you don't have anything, try and then lean into somebody like Susanna or myself. And that's exactly why you want to really be involved with the school community, CREIC, and get into our group close as possible. Partner on underwriting with an experienced broker. Shadow how they size up debt and structure terms. You'll compress 6 months of learning into a few weeks. And you could probably see just by these 3 days alone, you picked up a lot of knowledge that you could actually start using and applying like right now. And then join a local CRE finance meetup. Be the person connecting with money and deals, reputation compounds. I personally am in a group called BNI, Business Networking International, and I am the commercial broker. So it really, as I do my presentations and talk to other members in the group, you really start to stand out. And I would encourage this to really level up on your not just finance, but get into the commercial space of all these different meetups around the country. And just like Jeff, this is an example of a success story who called his residential clients and announced he now can fund commercial loans. And lo and behold, he landed his first deal in 7 weeks, funded 4 loans in 12 months. And just like Rick from LA, he defined his geographic location, analyzed 30 plus offering memorandums, lined up 8 investors, and purchased his 67 unit apartment complex. Now enjoys over $200,000 in annual cash flow shared with his investors, and he's working on his second deal. And then Terry started listing residential and fourplex deals, sold his first commercial deal, 3 fourplexes and 12 units, leveraged this to land his second commercial deal on the same street for 23 units and earned 151,000 in gross commission. So guys, now that you know, we've shown you the foundation of CRE. Again, foundation, right? F, analysis, and roadmap. We laid out the foundation. Analysis. Yesterday we talked about how to analyze deals. And of course, today we laid out the roadmap. All these things we mentioned on the previous slides, I've done, Susanna's done, and several of the players in our inner circle have done as well and found success by using all these different things. So at this point, you could become a member of our commercial real estate community, okay? Get commercial listings, know about off-market deals, and crucially, be an insider who gets a share of the exclusive and lucrative commercial real estate pie. And this is why, folks, that commercial isn't about capital, it's about connections and knowledge. The people who win in CRE rarely start rich, they start informed. I always say proximity is power, and it really, really is. Like I mentioned, just like going to Irving, Texas, there were asset managers in the room, belly to belly. We shared some drinks, we shared some jokes. Proximity is power. And just getting inside this insider circle, now you are close, just like John and Steven and a few others in our inner circle. Every property has an entry point, whether you're a broker, finance, lender, or investor, there's a role that fits your current resources. You can leverage other people's experience. Again, I said earlier, you could go fast alone, but you could go far with other people. And so you really, really want to take advantage of this. Napoleon Hill also says it in Think and Grow Rich, the power of a mastermind. When two or more people come together, they form this third mind called the mastermind. And if you've ever sat in any of my masterminds, you'll see the magic happen within minutes. And so, like the group coaching that we offered, really take advantage because some people love that setting more than the one to one. Sometimes on the one to one, sometimes some people feel uncomfortable, intimidated, or unprepared. And then on the group setting, people just love, love, love that. So make sure you're taking advantage of the group coaching sessions when you're involved, like John is, and Stephen, and a few others. Banks and investors fund good deals, not resumes. If the numbers pencil out, capital chases competence. The game rewards consistency, not perfection. You only need one solid deal to change your financial trajectory permanently. Like Mitch, one of our guys in our group, he picked up this pocket listing from a residential broker, saw the upside. The residential agent didn't see it, and he scooped it up and made millions on this one deal that changed his entire trajectory. Every top producer started with 0 deals. So just because you're just now getting into commercial real estate, um, you're having the courage to even be in this group says a lot about you. So kick it up a notch. Get involved with the school community, maybe step it up even more with coaching and mentorship. Um, everyone, uh, if you have no experience in commercial real estate, every top broker, again, lender and investor started at ground one. Most of them did not know a clue or have any experience in commercial real estate. A lot of people started at the same place. Um, if you don't even have your own capital yet, that is totally okay. There are so many ways in our community to, again, joint venture, be a limited partner, um, find a deal, we'll find the money, I promise you. That truly, truly happens. Um, Even if you come from residential or another industry like engineering or medical or anything like that, your sales, finance, or relationship skills transfer directly. You're just changing the asset class, not your DNA. Don't have a big network. The CRE world is small and hungry for partners. One good introduction can rewrite your entire trajectory. Um, if you feel intimidated by the size of the numbers, don't worry. The math scales up, but the logic stays the same. Bigger deals often mean less competition and a more structure. You don't know where to start. That's why we've given you a roadmap, folks. Clear steps from zero to landing your first deal with no guesswork or wasted motion. So take to heart all those six pillars we mentioned. Understand cap rate, IRR, cash on cash, all these different things we've talked about, and you could land your first deal. So imagine, folks, that um, you're waking up, excuse me, excited to work on $1 million properties, not $300,000 condos. Bigger numbers, calmer clients, and no weekend showings. Imagine having investors, brokers, and lenders reach out to you for deals. You become the connector, not the chaser. Imagine earning one big commission check that equals your annual income. Because in commercial, one good deal can change your entire year. We went through the math and it's really simple, folks. Add another zero to some of these properties, 10 million versus 1 million. Welcome to commercial real estate. Imagine understanding financing so clearly that banks start competing for your business. This happens on a day-to-day basis with Susanna and I. Soon as we put the numbers with our investors that are looking to put deals together and get funding, again, we mentioned we are aligned with over 700 institutions within minutes. They are literally fighting for our deals. You talk their language, and suddenly the power of dynamic flips. Imagine being invited into rooms and opportunities you didn't even know existed. I have experienced this many, many times, even with some of my coaching clients that I'm laying out this roadmap on a weekly basis with my coaching clients. And some of you have heard that a lot of these commercial people that I'm coaching are having their biggest years and months in their entire career, especially with what's going on in the economy. Having the time and freedom again. No weekend showings, no frantic closings, just structured, strategic deal making. When you're in commercial, folks, you've got now banker hours, right? 9 to 5, no nights, no weekends. Okay. And that really, some people will want to get into commercial real estate just for that reason alone. Imagine looking back 6 months from now, realizing this was a moment you crossed over. You didn't just learn commercial real estate, you became a commercial professional. And do you see how you don't need to wait years to get in? This course gives you the shortest proven path from beginner to your first real estate commercial deal. The right roadmap eliminates confusion, knowing exactly what to say, who to call, and how to structure deals. no wasted motion, no guessing. Proximity, again, proximity replaces experience, proximity to power, as I would say. You'll plug directly into the same lenders, brokers, and investors doing deals right now, like Susanna, myself, Jesse, and a few others in our community. Learning the financing side gives you power. Once you understand capital, you can structure and control any deal. And you can leverage other people's money, listings, and credibility. This course shows you how to partner up instead of trying to start from scratch. Mastering one framework. Find, analyze, fund, close changes everything. You'll stop dabbling and start executing like a true professional. And you see how you could realistically close your first deal within 90 days because you follow a proven playbook. Results compound fast.
Who wants to
And now,
close their first deal in 90 days? Give me a one in the chat. Who wants
thank
to
you.
close one in 90
Thank you,
days?
Susanna.
I know these slides are sooner. Okay, sooner. All right. Eric is in. Awesome. It does take about Dylan. Dylan is in. All right. Big Mike, we're already working on it. What are you talking about? Big Mike. He says he's quiet, but he delivers. Yeah, it takes 45 to 60 days. So that's why we say 90 days to give you like a month of ramp up. We'll tell you what to do and how to do it right away. But yeah, we're here to help you do that. Go ahead, Joe.
No doubt. No doubt. So the real question, folks, you need to ask yourself right now is when will you stop playing small? When? Right? If not now, when? When will you stop waiting for the perfect time? There is no perfect time on a calendar, folks. I don't see that. I see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, now, right? It's just now. The perfect time never comes, only momentum creates opportunity. And if you're really reading the writing on the walls, you got loan maturities, trillions of dollars of debt resetting. When will you stop letting fear of looking inexperience hold you back? Every top producer once had their first deal. The only difference is they started. When will you stop giving your time and talent to small paychecks? The effort is the same. The upside in commercial is exponential. And remember, I talked about this the other day. One of my mentors said you could do like $100,000 deal or a $500,000 deal. The work is almost the same, sometimes even more so on the lower deals because a lot of people they don't understand. So if you're sticking and staying in residential real estate, come up with the big boys and big girls. Tell you what, you just really start to level up. When will you stop letting other people's success be your entertainment instead of your evidence? You're scrolling proof that it's possible every day. It's your turn to execute. If you're on social media, you're seeing what people are doing. When will you stop trading your potential for comfort? Staying safe is actually the riskiest thing you can do long term. When will you stop telling yourself you're not ready? A lot of you folks carry this thing called BS, right? And what truly is BS? It's just right here. It's your belief system. Belief system. Some of you were thinking something else. I know I could see the smirks, but it's your belief system. You just got to change your belief system, folks. Readiness isn't a feeling, it's a decision. When will you finally bet on yourself the way you bet on your job, your boss, or your clients? Because the only person who can give you the permission to go big is you. Give yourself that permission. Because if you don't do anything, you'll keep watching others close deals that could have been yours. Every month you wait, someone else builds the network and credibility you've had. You'll stay stuck in small transactions with small margins and endless stress. You'll work harder, but you'll never scale your time or your income. You'll keep trading your potential for predictability. Comfort today quietly compounds into regret tomorrow. That one should be a stinger, right? Comfort today quietly compounds into regret tomorrow. Remember, in 2008, watch The Big Short if you forgot. In that same market, same market where a lot of people lost millions of dollars, including yours truly, in that same market, a lot of people got extremely wealthy. Remember Big Short 2008. Okay, that's going on right now, folks. See the writing on the wall. We got a really small window. Don't wait too long, folks. You'll lose momentum, and momentum is everything in CRE. Again, I mentioned the title commercial agents I'm coaching. They are crushing it. And in 2026, I already forecasted. We did our business planning and everything, and I'm seeing their pipeline. They're going to have bigger years in 2026, and I'm so excited for all the people I'm coaching and mentoring. Opportunities don't vanish; they just pass to people who are ready. You'll miss the compounding effect of relationships and reputation. In this industry, 1 year of hesitation can cost you 5 years of growth. You'll keep saying someday while your peers say closed. The market rewards the action takers, not perfection seekers. I always say, guys, done is better than perfect. Don't be a perfectionist. You're going to lose opportunity big time. All right. And worst of all, you'll never know what you were capable of. The cost of inaction isn't just money, it's self respect and potential unrealized. So, if you've been wanting to get into commercial real estate and you've committed yourself to making it work, I know some of you already are all in, and some of you are just taking all this knowledge. Good for you, like John and Steven, Jesse and Susanna, and a few others. You guys claim to your place in the most profitable and lucrative industry. What will you do today? Keep playing small, stay in your comfort zone, watch another year pass by stuck in the same place? Or will you bet on yourself? Commit to the process, folks, and become a top earner in commercial real estate. Who's feeling excited right now? Type a 1 in the chat. Let's go, John. Let's go. I know Susanna's excited. I know Eric's excited. Who else?
Mike is excited.
Let's go, Mike. Friday night, you should be excited. Yesterday, we unveiled our commercial real estate launchpad program because alignment does matter. Who you associate with is who you become.
So that's why we created the commercial real estate launchpad program that we talked about yesterday a little bit. And here's what you get when you join the commercial real estate program today. You get in-depth step-by-step modules covering how to successfully find, analyze, finance, and close commercial deals. You get live weekly group coaching calls, Q&A calls, bring your deals. If you don't, we're going to analyze deals that are either on the market, off the market, or that we're currently working on, or that we worked on in the past. You get 3 months. I think I missed the 3 months. Is that the 3 months? Can you go back, Joe? 3 months of hands-on mentoring. Yep, on mentorship with Joe and myself. And we do bring in guest speakers every now and then, so you can get direct feedback from people other than us as well. One-on-one kickoff session. So this is going to be really important. I had a couple of calls today. If you signed up, schedule your call. That's where we go in detail and in depth. We're trying to kind of cover, 3 different ways to make money, whether you're a loan officer or whether you're an agent or you're an investor. So we'll go into depth and we'll come up with an actual step-by-step, what do you need to do in order to get where you want to be? And again, we're committed to having you guys get into your first commercial deals within those 90 days. Commercial Loans Mastery White Paper. I must say I wrote that. I'm quite proud of it. It's not the most riveting paper you're ever going to read, but I'm tried to make it very easy to understand, and it's kind of all-encompassing across different product types. And the CREIC Private Investor Network, it's a members-only group of investors to collaborate, share, and partner. And you guys, this is so important. We could just sell you a course. We could just say, hey, here's your course, you know, get through it. We're imparting all of our knowledge upon you. But the thing is, it doesn't work. It's a very rare person that can just partake in a self-paced course and then take action and succeed. Within the private network and the group coaching calls, you're going to be accountable. You're going to be surrounded with people who are doing the same thing. We also have the deal analyzer spreadsheet and templates. This is also the same spreadsheets that I use, and I can't wait on one of these group coaching calls to show you a real example of forced appreciation. And due diligence checklist, again, for each property type. Deal flow vault, we do see some off-market deals, on-market deals, deals that fall out of escrow. There's one currently in Tempe that is such a great deal. I got a call on it a week ago. So it's early access to these opportunities for either you to take advantage of or to leverage to then talk to agents or get more listings or just demonstrate basically that you're an insider. Expert guest trainings. Joe is super well connected. He honestly is pretty humble about who he coaches and who he has access to. So he puts together experts that come in and talk to you about their expertise. Accountability pods, small groups to ensure consistent progress and execution in our group coaching section. We're going to put you in pods so that you guys can stay in touch, even though you're only talking to us once a week. Talk to each other as deals come up, or if you have questions. That accountability is what's going to make all the difference. So this is a summary of everything that's in the commercial real estate launchpad. So all the knowledge we've compiled into this program has taken us years to amass. Lots of trial and error, costly mistakes. If you guys want, you might have to, you know, bribe me a little bit to tell you all of the mistakes that we have made, but we will hopefully prevent you from making those. Which is why the commercial real estate launchpad would be fairly priced at $25,000, $17,000. Who is in at $17,000? Anybody? Okay, what's the price, Joe? Let's reveal the price.
I think John's raising his hand for 17. Let's go.
All right. It's not 17,000. Let's reveal the price, Joe. It's 10,000. It's an absolute bargain at $5,000, right? Yeah, it's not 5,000. We did talk to you guys about this yesterday. Truly, we want this to be affordable. We want every one of you, if you truly want to get into commercial real estate, we don't want money to stop you. So it's not even $5,000. You can join the commercial real estate launchpad today for $3,500. And you guys, obviously, you know, nobody here seems to me is a complete beginner. You guys know what these coaching programs cost. We really want to kind of remove the barrier because everybody's going to benefit from it. I'm going to get more deals. You guys are going to get more deals, and we're going to help each other move forward. So at $3,500, I think, you know, if you can make it work, schedule the call with either Joe and myself. I believe there's a link somewhere, Joe, to schedule a call. And then outside of the program, there's a couple of bonuses that we have for you. Okay, wait, there's more. Bonus number 1, residential to commercial pivot plan book. Okay, we're missing 4 things. What are we missing? 4 things. Special training from Joe for realtors and loan officers on how to transition, reposition, and market themselves in commercial real estate. Bonus number 2 is the capital raising secrets. This is a very all-encompassing material on how to fund it, all the SEC regulations and some do's and don'ts, like what structure do you want to use, you know, what are the rules, what you're allowed to do without getting into trouble. Bonus number 3, VIP access for CIEIC events. We do these periodically, maybe once every quarter or so. Some are in person, some are digital. Take advantage of being around the people who are doing these deals every day. Bonus number 4 is in-person ticket to the business planning workshop that Joe is putting on in San Diego. And Joe, you keep saying it's in person, but it's also virtual, right? People can attend it virtually.
100%.
Awesome. Okay, so that's the commercial launchpad program. There's a link down there. Can you put the link, Joe, or do you want me to put the link in the chat?
Yeah, could you put the link
unless I'll do it because you're up on the next slide.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so as Susanna's putting that link, go ahead and either A, book your call, or go ahead and join us. If you guys are ready, that is it, folks. We made it easy. All right, we're at this point either 3 payments or 1 pay in full. And if you're really, really serious, again, one deal could just absolutely change your trajectory. Think about it. Would it be worth $100,000? Being conservative, one deal could easily make you over $60,000. I did a deal not too long ago that it was pretty darn close to that number. So, folks, my guys I mentioned in Arizona, actually, one of them did 400,000 last month. So it's a big boy, big girl game. Forget these smaller checks in residential. So let's break it down. For real estate agents, for an investment of 3,500 in the CRE Launchpad today, in 6 months, hypothetically, you close your first $4 million commercial deal for 120K in gross commission. In 12 months, you close 3 deals for maybe 360K of gross commission. In 36 months, you're consistently closing deals making over $1 million. Very, very possible. Again, those are hypothetical numbers, but play around with it. If you're in the residential space, you know the math. It's not that hard. Let's break it down for MLOs. For an investment of 3,500 in CRE Launchpad today, in 6 months, you close your first $4 million commercial deal for 40K gross commission. In 12 months, you close 3 deals for 120K, just like Chris we talked about. And in 36 months, closing deals consistently, your goal of being 2 to 3 deals per year or per month will equate to about 800K in gross commission. And let's break it down for investors. For an investment of 3,500 in the commercial real estate launchpad today, in 6 months, folks, you close your first $6 million commercial deal for 120K acquisition fee and 90K per year in passive income. Remember Sarah, I mentioned not too long ago, she's doing about 80K per year passive, and it was triple net. She gets that year over year, no matter what, and she gets to still do real estate if she wants to. In 24 to 36 months, you have closed 2 deals for 240K with an acquisition fee of 180K in additional cash flow. And in 60 months, you exit your first deal and profit up to 1.8 million. So really, one investment of only 3,500 in the commercial real estate launchpad today in 6 months can give you a return of 40K to 120K. In 12 to 36 months can give you a return of 120 to 420K. And again, hypothetically, this is the numbers in commercial real estate. In 60 months can give you a return of 800K to maybe 2 million. And now the biggest risk of all, again, is inaction. Go all in for yourself, and you will start seeing money differently. You'll stop chasing commissions and start building equity, deal flow, and leverage. You will earn more money working smarter, not harder. Bigger deals, longer timelines, fewer headaches, and checks that actually move the needle. You'll become a connector of opportunity. Brokers, investors, and lenders will see you as a hub, not the rookie. You will build financial freedom, not just income. Every deal expands your network, reputation, and passive ownership opportunities. And think about that. I always tell this to people that, like in residential, when I was just clearly focusing on residential at one point, you make all this money and you start to buy all these residential properties. I created a lot of millionaires, guys, and some of them still stay in residential because of these limiting beliefs or myths. You can't eat equity, guys. You cannot eat equity. In commercial real estate, we will start to teach you about passive income, and you could eat off of passive income, not equity, folks. You will gain confidence through competence. Understanding how to find, analyze, fund, and close deals give you the power to few will ever learn. And you'll attract better clients, partners, and opportunities. Success compounds when you start playing at a higher level. People will begin to notice, guys. You will look back 6 to 12 months from now, a year from now, guys, and realize this decision rewired your future, and maybe not just yourself, but for generations to come. You didn't just take another course, you changed industry, networks, and outcomes. These 3 days have shown you what's possible in commercial real estate and how you can get started on your own journey. And if you want to shorten your path to success while receiving direct guidance and accountability from us, I mean, think about that. When you have a coach, a mentor, some of the greatest players in the world, like I'll use sports for example, Tiger Woods, GOAT of golf. He had a coach. Michael Jordan had a coach. I was actually fortunate to meet one of his personal coaches, Tim Grover. These amazing people have coaches and mentors showing them the shortcuts, avoiding the pitfalls, folks. Again, this is a value. This is maybe even underestimating some of the value here because sitting down with Susanna or myself for 30 minutes or an hour, you're going to figure out like when we start talking in our group coaching sessions, ask us anything, everything. And again, that power of that mastermind, that group, you're going to learn very, very quickly. And so again, it's one payment of only 3,500 or three payments, right? And we could break it down for you. And at this point, I think that was the very last slide, Susanna.
Yeah, we do have a couple of questions in the chat. Big
All right, bring
Mike is saying, my fear is going beyond the $5 million amount. My concern is being ousted by investment bankers and salaried bankers. How do you guys move beyond that point? So that's a good question. But what we didn't talk about, there's just so much more that we can't possibly, fit into a 3-day challenge. So, and institutional investors, institutional bankers don't come out to play under 50 million. They just don't. Like real estate, private equity. I mean, I'll have people calling me. It's like, hey, can you get me a, preferred equity deal on top of my first loan? The thing is, like, their minimum is 3 million, but they really don't get out of bed for 5, and that's on top of the first loan. So that means your first loan needs to be at least 30 million. So Everything under that 30 million is not institutional. Those are people like me and Joe that end up doing these deals. There's a massive gap of what is perceived on Wall Street and with these big investment bank as too small for them to bother. They don't go after these deals. They don't want to deal with individual investors. They want to deal with institutional buyers. And these are your endowments, your family offices. We hardly ever touch that. We don't play in that space. But who is going to do that? It's people like you and me and Joe and, countless others. Are you competing with banks? Absolutely. I do. I'm very transparent about it. However, so Mike, you and I had an experience today where we took one of your loans and plugged it into our financing options. How long would it take somebody who is buying a 10 million or $5 million loan to figure out the best financing? Are they going to sit there with the phone and call 20 banks and say, what's your rate? What's your term? How would you structure this? Not going to happen. They need brokers. They need people like you and me that can put it in front of them, say, these are your loan options. It took us, 15 minutes on each deal to come up with that, right? There's a massive value that you're adding to these deals. Are you going to win every deal? Absolutely not. I'm one of the best there is. When you put me on the phone as a buyer, 95% probability I'm going to end up getting the deal. Number one, I'm going to display so much knowledge, credibility, and value and I'm going to just flat out spell it out. Like, I am your best bet. I'm getting you the money to purchase a deal. And people believe me, and it's true. So yeah, do I lose some deals? Of course. And some people do go around me, but it's actually pretty rare. Most clients, once we plug them into our search engines, they're so blown away. They're like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? So yeah, there's competition, but nothing like you guys are going to have in residential. It's a completely different world. And that's why we say, like, once you kind of get established with your property type and your network, you will become the go-to. It's not hard to do. You guys will spend 8 months in this industry and you're going to be the go-to. It's like, oh yeah, that's the storage guy. Yeah, he knows all about storage. He knows all about the upcoming listings, or he's got the best lenders for this, or gas stations or hotels. I'm working with a mentee right now that's doing that. So good question. Don't worry. And then also, as part of our group, you get to lean on us all the time. When Joe first started out as a loan guy, he got introduced to this guy who had very, very high impressive credentials. He said, can you get on the phone with us? So we just had a 3-way call with him, and he signed our free agreement, I think, like within 20 minutes of that phone call. So
Correct.
yeah, lean on the people who can kind of help validate you while you're kind of, getting your experience, on your own resume. So absolutely. But yeah, don't fear anything under 20 million, bring it. We can crush it. Absolutely. Just put them in front of me. It's game over.
Yeah, that kind of addresses Big Mike. You have this, my fear is going beyond the $5 million loan amount. And that's where the community, the experience of Susanna and myself come into play, where you get into the inner circle, you join the coaching program. We are happy to jump on the phone through a 3-way call with some of these bigger boys you might be confronting, and also the accountability pods. When we set you guys up, you're going to start pushing each other. I don't know, Big Mike, if you're an athlete or anything like that, but I did that. I played, believe it or not, I've played football, wrestled, and what have you. I've been in a lot of sports. I've currently trained jujitsu. But if you go to the gym by yourself, it's so different than going with a workout buddy or workout partner. You're able to push more. They're going to help you push, right? And so that's the power of the community. Our group coaching sessions, by the way, just an FYI, sometimes you might be the only one in there, Big Mike, because whatever somebody's schedule doesn't happen to fall on that same day, they can't be in there. And I've got a lot of training, just an FYI, Big Mike. I've done a lot of self-development, had a lot of coaches on mindset. I'm a big student of Tony Robbins. I've been through a lot of other different personal development. My mom and dad were broke. My dad was in the Navy. He was from the Philippines. I mean, we had no money. Scarcity was always top of mind. And how did that reflect as me growing up? Big time. It was embedded in me, in my brain. And I had all this scarcity mentality and playing small. And, I was that kid that I knew I was a tiger, but I was just trapped in this body. But I had to really go through a lot of self-development. And I will share that with you. When you get into the coaching, the mentorship, and you happen to be there, bring it up on the group or the one-to-one. And I'll bring out all these tools. As a matter of fact, there's another book out there. I'll tell you what, do yourself a favor, Big Mike. Go to Amazon. My other book is called Make It a Comeback. I wrote that book. Now, I'm not a writer. I didn't go to school for being a writer. I wrote that book, and there's a lot of different hacks in there. Make It a Comeback with Joe Mendoza. It's on Amazon, and there's a lot of hacks. I'll give you one example right here, Mike, Big Mike. So, this thing you could practice right now, Big Mike, or anybody on here. It's called the rubber band technique. Okay, remember, I mentioned a BS, belief system. Whenever you hear your little voice, you can't do that. You're not worthy. How could they believe you? That little voice that's kind of like fighting with you, you're going to take that rubber band and you're going to go pop. You're going to wear that rubber band all day. And that's what we call a pattern interrupt. Okay. Because that little voice is just getting in the way of your success. I took my dog for training. I recently picked up a rescue dog, 3+ year old Australian Shepherd, and he is ruthless. I mean, he's very, very protective. And I was like, man, how could I control this dog? I took him to a dog trainer, and he goes, hey, you know what? Use this can with a bunch of rocks and Legos, shake it up every time. When he gets aggressive and does something like that, shake it up. And so I was with the trainer. It was a pattern interrupt. And this dog, this vicious dog, was like taken back. And then he sees the can and he stops, right? I don't even have to shake it. So we got to break these patterns, Big Mike. And truly, I could help you do that. You get involved 90 days, that might be the biggest thing you'll get is that mental breakthrough. Make sense? You still with us, Mike? Big Mike?
You're putting him on the spot. He doesn't like to talk, but we had a good conversation earlier.
Okay. Okay. All
Mike
right. I get fired up.
Mike.
I get so fired up when people get into that mindset because I mean, seriously, guys, if I could do it, as long as you do the exercises or as long as you're willing to do the work, I could say anybody could do it. But you got to do the work. You have to do the work. That's how I broke away from. I mean, I told you about my tragedy. In 2008 to 2010, I lost it all. I went through major depression, but guess what? I got it back because I used a lot of those things in my book. I had to break my pattern. I had to do the affirmations. I had to really, really cleanse and be around proximity to people that were helping me level up, not talking smack and bringing me down because you're going to have this one thing called crabs in the bucket, right? The naysayers, they're going to be pulling you down. So you be careful who you're getting close to because there's some friends you need to just get rid of or spend less time with them. Okay? Because these are the people that's dragging you down. And we call that crabs in a bucket syndrome. They see you succeed a little bit. Come on. You can't do that. First they they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they want to be with you. Remember that. All right, I'm already coaching.
I'm gonna tell you something. I don't talk a lot, but I will interject. Thank you for telling me that because I have been capped mentally not to go above 5 million and stay in that small balance range because I had done it before and got to kind of like dealt with a couple of I call bankers that sit around collect a salary and think they know everything underneath the sun, which they don't, and they can actually get a better pricing than me. So the client felt more credibility with the banker than with me. And I spent a lot of time was on a hotel transaction. And I spent a lot of time with this particular client. I found that I actually won a lot more deals in that 1.5 to 5 million range that I was really, really sweet. So that 5 unit to 10 unit buildings for the apartment complex and those mixed use deals, it's like it's a no brainer. But when I would go above that 5 million, I was like, wow, these guys are doing a lot bigger deals than I have. Why am I spending my time on a $2.5, $3 million deal when I can go after something, that 13 to 14? So thank you both for eloquently explaining exactly why that is definitely possible for me to start targeting those deals on tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's a
absolutely.
big
And
breakthrough already.
Mike, so I hear this all the time, right? Because I talk to these people who are looking for financing and they haven't made the decision. And it's kind of, I know we're going to rush through the two deals that you and I were talking about today. But the thing is, when you produce that financing options, and yeah, they're talking to this bank, and the bankers, honestly, they do look down on brokers for sure, which is why I'm so adamant about becoming fluent. Like you have to know the lingo, because otherwise they'll just use that excuse to dismiss you. But the conversation goes like this. Like, hey, I know you want to go with this bank and you've been with this bank forever, but how do you really know that you're getting the best rate and term? Do you really know that? You don't? Okay. In 5 minutes, I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to type it in and I'm going to come up with financing options, just like that financing option matrix that I emailed you earlier today. And then they go like, wow. And I'm like, okay, here is all the banks and credit unions, over 750 of them. And these are all the ones that would be financing your deal with this NOI and with this address, this zip code, blah, 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 right? And then they go like, wow. But then not only that, if you work with me, I'm going to send it to all the lenders and they will all review it and they compete with each other. They know that, our lenders know that that's our system. Whereas if you take it to your bank, you're getting a rate of whatever, 6.5%, and that's all you're getting. And now you're in underwriting, you come up on a snag, and then what? You're stuck with the bank. Working with us, we have these 5 other lenders in backup positions. In fact, that deal that I just got approved earlier today, that was the lender in second position. That was not the primary lender. The primary lender choked on it 1 week before closing. Luckily, we had that second lender lined up because all 6 lenders on my pricing sheet had the deal. And we just got approved today. And we're just going to make the financing contingency that's going to expire on Monday. When I explain that to people, Mike, what are they going to do? Like, are they stupid? Are they really going to go to the bank? Like, most people in commercial real estate are not stupid. So don't be intimidated by them, and just start dropping some banker lingo to kind of, take up some space in the room, and you'll end up with the deal. And at the end of the day, when the borrower feels really comfortable that you can deliver the best deal to them, they're going to be super loyal to you. We're doing multiple transactions for the same borrowers over and over. So don't worry, I got you. Let's go get that $15 million deal.
We got all of you guys. We really do. If not now, maybe later. Stay within the circle, guys. Stay within the school community. Let's figure it out. I mean, if you're really like 50-50, let's hop on a call. Let's hop on a call. Let's figure it out and let's go from there. Okay, we're looking to serve and solve. And I always say, guys, you might want to steal this one. The bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. The bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. And when you learn to solve these bigger problems in commercial real estate, holy moly, those checks are fat, guys. They are huge. So, man, I'm excited. I mean, being in the real estate arena for such a long time, back from 1990 when I was in high school. Yeah, I got pumped. I got pumped, and fortunately, I lived through multiple cycles, not just one. I've seen multiple cycles. The first one was in 1980-ish. The home savings and loans just got crushed, right? And I was in high school. I didn't know any better, but I did see the writing on the wall, and I was like scared. I was scared. And so I pivoted and decided to go to college for a while, went to San Diego State, and then I did a couple jobs, but you guys probably heard my podcast. But went back to my first love in real estate, and I did it part time. I did real estate part time, and like I said, you guys could do it too. And seriously, you'll probably only need, depending how big you want to play or how much commitment you want to do, 2 to 10 hours is more than enough. You will start to find out because some of you have a very, very busy lifestyle. I normally say like maybe train and learn for 30 minutes to 2 hours tops max, and the rest of the day deal hunting, taking action, whatever. And if you have a 9 to 5 job, your success, do it early morning, late at night, on weekends. But you do that little sacrifice for the next 90 days, the next year, the next 2 years, and watch what happens because it's a compounding effect. All this stuff you're doing, just don't quit. Just don't quit. Just don't quit. Keep going.
So I just put the replay portal, and that also has a schedule a call button for you guys. Ed, you need to schedule a call. If you don't schedule a call, I'm going to find you and call you. So you need to schedule a call. It's happening.
I know some Sorianos, Ed, so look out. I'm going to start calling all your
I know.
cousins and
See,
your.
he's I know he likes what you have to say, and we've spoken before. So yeah, book a call. Okay.
That's awesome.
All right.
That's
If
awesome.
there's no
Yeah,
more
any of
questions,
you.
if you guys have questions, unmute yourself and ask or type it in the chat. I'm trying to keep up. I'm not sure if I missed anything, but yeah, if you guys have questions, let us know. Otherwise, we're gonna let you get your weekend
Susanna, would
started.
you kick in your or the call or your calendar,
Yeah, it's on
please?
the replay portal. I just put it in the chat. Oh, I thought I did. Sorry, go ahead. There it is. Yeah, it's on the
Okay.
replay portal. Just
So
go
I'm
to the
not quite as blind as I expected myself to be. Okay. We're good. Thank you.
yeah, you're
Any other
welcome.
comments, questions, and we could start wrapping it up, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Jesse. So glad you're here, brother.
Thank you, Joe. I was on the call. I just turned off the camera because I had people still coming in and out of my office. So like they kept pulling me away. So but yeah, thank you. Good, great call, by the way. Great call. I was listening in the whole time. Excellent call.
Thank you. And Jesse and I go way, way, way back. He's a huge broker in Covina. And yeah, he's part of our network and he's looking for deals and doing all kinds of fun stuff with us. And we're collaborating on multiple levels, guys. This is the quality of person you want in your circle, and he is definitely part of it. Anybody else? Any last comments, questions? Ed, all right. Now
That's
you're
what I
pretty
mean. Like
close.
Ed is
Uh,
booking a
oh,
call.
we
Like
must be neighbors.
yeah.
Ed, I guess we're neighbors.
There you go. That's awesome. All right, should we wrap it up, Susanna?
Let's do it.
Hey, give yourself a big round of applause. You guys hung in there, stuck it through 3 days. I mean, maybe this was your first day, maybe you stayed here all 3 days, but showing up. Like I said, this morning within 100 people, what was my biggest takeaway? Showing up. The more you start to show up, all this will maybe through the power of osmosis will stick, right? And proximity is power. You're going to start landing these big deals and doing bigger deals. So take care, guys. God bless. You guys are super, super amazing. Stay in the school community and we'll chat soon.
All right, Joe. Thank you and good night.
Good night. Have a great weekend, guys. Happy Thanksgiving if you guys are celebrating.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye bye.